Hey guys, what's up? Proxy's here with another deck tech. Today I'm bringing you my out-of-the-way Riven build. The basic idea is that you play this out-of-the-way spell as soon as possible so that allied buffs are permanent, and then you abuse the Reforge mechanic to power up all of your units in Riven way more than they probably should be. So why don't we go ahead and get into what the deck list actually is. First off, we play Triple Blade Squire. It's our important one-drop unit, and it Last Breath will Reforge, so it'll give us one of the pieces of the Blade of Exile. And generally, these fragments are only round-based, but with Out of the Way, they become permanent, so we can give allies these buffs permanently when they should only last for a round, and it makes this one mana cost focus card a lot more powerful than it would be otherwise. We play two of the Elixir of Wrath, a one-drop burst spell that gives an ally +3/+0 this round, but once again, with Out of the Way, it becomes +3/+0 permanently, and if you played on an Evolved Riven, she gets +6/+0 permanently. We play two Arena Battlecasters. It's a 2-drop follower that on attack will give other attacking allies +1/+0 this round, but like most of this deck, anything that says this round, we're hoping to make permanent by using Out of the Way. From there, we've got 3 Legion Drummers. By supporting, we give Quick Attack. It's a 2-drop 3/2, so it's pretty useful, and getting as many units Quick Attack as possible is always a good thing. We've got 3 Pale Cascades, giving an ally +1/+1, and as long as we use it on Nightfall, we draw an extra card. From there, we've got Triple Weapon Hilt, which is a burst speed 2 cost that will give an ally +2/+0 this round, as well as Reforging, which will help us get Riven to evolve faster. We got Triple Mentor the Stones, that gives supported allies +2/+2. Triple Might, give an ally +3/+0 as well as Overwhelm for the round. Then we have Triple Riven. She's going to Reforge for us whenever we gain the attack token while she's on the field. And then after she levels up, you still get to Reforge every single time you get the attack token, but the first time your power is increased in a round, it's increased by twice as much. So we're looking to use any of our +3 power cards on Riven first before using anything else on her, so that way we get the most benefit out of that doubling. From there, we've got Sharpened Resolve, which is a 3-cost burst spell. It's going to give an ally +3/+2 this round, so again, this is +6/+2 on an Evolved Riven. We've got 2 Bastions, which gives an ally +1/+1 in Spell Shield. It's burst speed, so that Spell Shield can come in handy to protect units that would otherwise die to targeted removal. Then we got 3 Brutal Hunters, which has Challenger, and then when it's summoned, it gets Quick Attack for the round. So if we have Out of the Way played, you have a Challenger unit with Quick Attack permanently, so it's a good way to get rid of specific problem cards. Then we run Triple Taric. So the big thing about Taric is that when you support, you give the Taric and the ally tough, as well as copying the last spell that you cast only on Taric this round. So being able to cast like an Elixir of Wrath or Might or Sharpened Resolve on Taric and then copying that over to Riven, you're giving both of your cards permanent stats. The other thing about Taric is when you level him up, your supported ally and him can't take damage or die this round, which with Get Out of the Way becomes permanent. So you end up with cards that just can't die, so the only way you can get rid of them is by obliterating them, and that's a keyword that's kind of hard to come by unless you're playing against something that can invoke for the most part. From there, we've got the Triple Out of the Way, which is the star of the deck, because for the rest of the game, you allied buffs except for barrier are permanent, and then you also draw 1. We won triple because we need to draw it as soon as possible. We want to play it as fast as humanly possible. Then we play, to round out the deck, double Cygnus the Moonstalker. Nightfall giving this card and an ally elusive. You know, with Get Out of the Way, it becomes permanent. So we can give our huge Riven elusive permanently, and it's a good way to end the game, assuming you don't run into Frostbite. And that's the deck profile. So the general strategy of this deck is going to be trying to find your Out of the Way as soon as possible and playing it as early as possible. You know, if you can curve into it, you can play this card as early as turn 3, even turn 4. Waiting that long to play it or rather not spending mana to guarantee that you can play it on those early turns can be kind of risky, especially with how aggressive the meta is right now. But against some of the slower decks, playing Out of the Way as soon as possible is going to give you some pretty handed victories. We want to play Tarek, you know, as soon as possible, so we can start trying to level him up to get the invincibility that he grants to supported units. And then from there, you know, we're just powering up units in general by existing and by playing our buff spells. So overall, it's a pretty simple strategy. There's not much to think about other than, like, which card do I want to play on the Tarek to support with, because there's going to be a lot of times that you run into having 3 or 4 fragments in your hand, and you know you can play them all on Tarek, but which one do you actually want to copy over? And that's where the playmaking comes to be. Generally, I try to keep stuff like Sharpened Resolved or like Might or Elixir of Wrath, the thing that really gives like the strong power-ups to copy over. But also, if you're kind of low on hand resources, you know, you can play Pale Cascade, and then because it gets cast on the unit that you support, you end up drawing 2 off the card as long as you played it on Nightfall. So you have some options. I think it's a fairly interesting deck. So why don't I go ahead and get some games going so I can show you how it plays. Mono-Azir. I honestly don't know what to expect out of this deck, but we'll play it out anyways. We don't want the Arena Battlecaster. We're going to keep the Blade Squire, and we'll get rid of the Might. We want to see Out of the Way as soon as possible. Alright, so we picked it up. So I assume he's going to be playing a rather aggressive list. So we're going to drop the Blade Squire and probably not play anything turn 2. So that with turn 3 we can play Out of the Way. I guess this could be like an Ascendance Rush, but usually that list runs Renekton as well. But hopefully we can hold our mana next turn, this turn, so we can play Out of the Way, and then turn 4 play Riven. Yeah. So, sweet. We're gonna go ahead and play Out of the Way here. And I guess they could have Deny, but that's a 4 cost, so they won't be playing it here. And by Deny, I mean the Shurima variant. Okay, yeah. So we're gonna play Riven next turn because we want to reforge on turn. Yeah, this is definitely like a strange ascendancy rush. So we're gonna want to kind of be careful. We'll definitely play the Riven this turn. I kind of want to hold on to the Elixir of Wrath, but we will see. I want to hold it so I can play it when she levels, but it's going to be a while from now. 1, 2, 3. We could do it next turn, because we'll trade here, and then we'll take the one from the Sand Soldier. 1 fragment, 2 fragment, 3 fragment, level up Elixir of Wrath. But now we also have Tarek. So I think playing Tarek here is actually just going to be better.
It can only be found within.
So I think we'll play Tarek, give them both quick attack.
Together we are part of something more.
Together, you are children of Shurima.
Shatter them. Never
We'll give them both tough, we'll give them both quick attack. So
Keep your distance.
they won't be taking any damage. Obliterating for that. Yeah, that's okay. We're just looking to build up Riven and Tarek at this point, so gonna refill his hand. I think we're okay with. I think we're in a pretty good spot right now. Azir leveling up is going to be kind of dangerous because this is going to go down to 6, but I'm not sure.
Sand and blood.
So we'll definitely block like
no further.
this. See if they use anything. They could play the pump card, but it looks like they're not. So Zir's gonna level up with one more summon. I assume they have one more summon in their hand, but I think we want to reforge here. We'll pump Riven again. And then give Riven Overwhelm. Get the level up. Then we'll sharpen Resolve on the Riven. Level up Tarek.
Beauty and protect all life.
And then we'll pass. Azir's gonna level. They're gonna get minus 10 on the Sun Disc. We're gonna pass again. They can't attack because they already used their attack token. So next turn I'm going to Elixir of Wrath, Tarek into Moonstalker, Riven, and then go face. And I don't think they should have a way to deal with the elusive block, the elusive Riven, and the elusive Cygnus here. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm sure there's a way that they could get out of this, but I'm not entirely sure what it's going to be.
We can always rely on you to keep us safe.
Blessings of abundance.
So, like I said, we're gonna open with the Elixir Wrath on Tarek, and then we're gonna play the Cygnus onto Riven to give them both elusive. We'll see what they play, and then we're gonna go face. And Riven's gonna become a 20 with the Tarek swing, because it's gonna double the Elixir of Wrath here. So, yeah.
To protect all.
And now both Tarek and Riven can't die anymore. And unless they have an answer in their hand, they're going to die from a single Riven attack to the face. And it looks like they don't have anything. Sweet. That was...
At last, a way forward.
That's basically exactly what this deck wants to do, right? We're going to play Terra, we're going to play Riven, we're going to power them up, and then we're going to make one of them elusive, and they're both going to become unkillable. And that's the game plan. So hopefully I can... That was like the perfect display of what the deck wants to do. So yeah, I'm glad we got that one on tape. So let's go do another game. Zon, Shadow Isle, Kindred. I'm not terribly sure what to expect here, so we're gonna get rid of the Might, get rid of the Pale Cascade, get rid of the Arena Battlecaster, hopefully draw Riven, Blade Squire, and get out of the way. At least we have Blade Squire. Not having a turn 1 play is pretty painful. So
Join the hunters, they said.
we'll open with Blade Squire. Pass, not draw a card
The hunters.
that we want to see. We'll attack here. No Vile Feast, so that's fortunate. And we'll pass turn. Seeing Riven's good. So we'll go ahead and play Riven here. I assume they're going to play Glimpse Beyond, draw off the prey, or they're going to play Butcher. Either of those would not be surprising to see. There's the Vile Feast. That's okay. We're going to Reforge. We definitely don't want Riven to go down to 1, so... From here, we're going to play this to give Riven quick attack.
Even a fragment snuffs out lives.
And then we're going to play Tarek.
Where once there was a sword, only shards remain.
Broken gems show new facets.
Put on me mask, secure me tail, start the day.
And we'll play this. Problem here is if I attack with Tarek, I definitely go to Vile Feast range. So we're just going to attack with Riven here. And we'll kill the prey. Do they have the Glimpse Beyond here to draw 2? Looks like they don't. So here's the hope next turn we get out of the way so we can
Oh, that's a harvest right
start building. I want to play Weapon Hilt on the attack token so I can Reforge twice and get 2 pieces, but next turn when I get the attack token, I'm definitely going to get
What's that, lamb?
Something soon forgotten,
I'm gonna get
dear wolf.
the Blade of the whatever, it's Blade of Exile, and be able to level up the Riven. So they don't have mana for Vile Feast here, so I think what I want to do is defend with the Tarek,
Fade and
Pale Cascade, so I go down to 2. Also draws me some stuff. We'll block like that. We definitely don't want to get slayed because we don't want Kindred to destroy us here. Out of the way would be something else here, but
No turning back now. There is surrender and there is life. I will live.
we're definitely just trying to build as much as we can here. Yeah, that's fine. We're okay with that. They're not in Vengeance Rage, and we're literally just gonna lose the Legion Drummer. And we don't particularly care about Legion Drummer. Both of our main units are gonna have quick attack permanently now. So
He is for the other.
from here, we will swing with everything.
Never submit. Unyielding.
Level up
There
our
is
Taric.
nowhere left to go but
I do wish that I made a slight misplay there. I could have made it so these two weren't going to take damage this round, but without getting out of the way, I guess it's not a misplay since the damage protection and the
Be still.
healing,
Foolish.
or rather the damage, yeah, the damage protection and kill protection won't be permanent. So with this, I mean, they got 2 mana, so I don't know what they are gonna do here with 2 mana. Losing their Kindred is definitely a mistake. That I'm okay with. So I don't know if they just didn't know what like quick attack did or something. But we'll go ahead and play the Mentor of the Stones now. And
I could certainly try.
yes, hopefully we see out of the way either this turn or next turn. It's infinitely important at this point. Oh, we're playing against the Snapvine list. Okay, I actually have one of my own. Snapvine's very fun, in my opinion. I feel like more people should play it,
Sure,
but
you're all shiny and majestic, but can you float?
I could certainly try.
we will see what they do. I mean, if they attack with Snapvine, I'll block with a Mentor of the Stones and power it up enough to kill the Snapvine. And if they don't attack with the Snapvine, we will... okay, so they're gonna get a free Snapvine here, but make sure we're at full health. There's no reason to like subject ourselves to going down below full. But from there, I guess we just play another Mentor of the Stones.
Sure, you're all shiny and
There's
majestic, but can you float?
not really a reason not to.
Try.
So at least this game is showing what the deck can do without Get Out of the Way. So like it still has ways to like perform without making all your buffs permanent. But
Remind me later.
it's definitely rough. Awesome. They are not blocking for some reason, so we will. Are not attacking for some reason, so I think we just attack here. I'm afraid of seeing Vengeance. So we will prevent them from dying to Vengeance here. And with whatever they block, I mean, Stalking Shadows isn't really going to help. I think they're just kind of playing all the rest of the cards they can to see like the rest of the deck, but... Alright, so... I mean, we win with overwhelm damage here, so... yeah. So, this deck still, like, works without Out of the Way, but Out of the Way makes the deck infinitely better.
At last, a way forward.
Could have been playing our buffs a lot more aggressively there, but since we don't have it, we have to play a little more conservatively, but, you know, it still works regardless, but I think that's a pretty good example of what the deck does, especially since we didn't see Out of the Way, so it showcases that even though the deck is built around the interaction between Out of the Way and buffing Tarek with temporary cards to get more value out of these lower cost cards, you still very well can win games when you don't see it. So I'm happy to have shown that one to you. So my general thoughts on this deck after playing it, trying to get good games to show off for this video, is I need more early units that do something on the board. So Arena Battlecaster sounds good on paper, especially with like Out of the Way. It's a permanent +1/+0, but I feel like that slot is better suited for something like Runeweaver, which is the same mana cost, but it's a 3/1, so it's stronger. And I also get the Reforge, so it's like a faster evolve. Or, you know, maybe something like Solari Sunhawk, so I can stun to survive longer, since the deck kind of needs that type of time to get rolling, you know. Maybe I want to drop the Legion Drummer. This is another one of those cards that I added to the deck to like be another way to give a unit permanent quick attack when I played Get Out of the Way. But you know, you drop these two cards and then all of a sudden you have space for 3 Runeweaver and then one other card. You know, I definitely like this Cygnus the Moonstalker. It's a great way to finish games when like you finally have your field set up. You know, Out of the Way has got to stay at 3. The deck's still playable when you don't draw it, but you definitely want to see it as soon as possible. I think Brutal Hunter is great in this deck. Mentor of the Stones is one of those cards that I think is theoretically good, but I think I'm better off cutting this card altogether to maybe get some type of like board control. I found that I don't have a way to like remove enemy units other than just like challenge, you know. And if challenging is the way that I want to remove enemy units, maybe I cut that card in place of the you know, Trifarian Glory Seeker, a 2-cost 5/1 with challenge. You know, you can get rid of most enemy champions with this card, and it can save you for only 2 mana. Another thing I noticed is it'd be great if I could find a way to get lifesteal onto Tarek and onto Riven, or onto whatever card I'm buffing a ton, because there were a lot of games that, you know, aren't going to make into this video, but were super close and grindy, but I would lose because I was at 3 health by the time my board was finally ready, you know, and then like they would drop Decimate or Blade Dance and kill me instantly. So like when I have, you know, an 11 power Riven and an 11 power Tarek, maybe finding a way to grant them permanent lifesteal would be great. Now, I don't know if that really exists in these regions, a way to grant cards Lifesteal, I don't think I've seen it myself, but maybe I, play something like Solari's Sunforger and play it on Daybreak, and then I've got a 5/4 with permanent lifesteal. Maybe I play like the Fangs that has lifesteal, and then those are the two cards that I power up alongside the Riven and the Taric. I think when I play the deck, I obsess over powering up Riven. I obsess over powering up Taric because Taric I feel like is a no-brainer when it comes to powering up, because Taric, if you play a spell on it, it plays that exact same spell onto another unit. So you're powering up two cards for the price of one. So I feel like that's a no-brainer. But like Riven, powering up Riven's like only really worth it once she is leveled up, and you get to double the power of her for whenever it's increased the first time each round. But maybe I only power up Riven once per turn to get that double power, and then I expend the rest of my resources powering up Taric with some type of lifesteal unit, so I can make sure I survive longer. Because having a 5/4 with lifesteal that I can continuously gain life for makes the deck potentially better in the long run, since I'd be able to play more passively in the early game and take more damage, and then round 5, round 6, I can come out of nowhere with like a 10/4 with lifesteal. You cast some Fairy Sunforger and then you Elixir of Wrath it. It's an 8/4 that all of a sudden you're getting 8 health back. You're at 10 because you didn't block for the first couple of rounds. Well, now you're back at 18. The game's basically reset for you. And if they can't get rid of the Sunforger, they might not have a way to beat you at that point anymore. And right now the meta, the way it seems, since this video is being recorded the day after Guardians of the Ancient dropped, the meta seems like it's going to be very aggro heavy. We were already seeing stuff like Azir Scouts, aggro Pirates last season, and now we're going to start seeing stuff like Irelia MF. We're going to see Irelia Azir. Thresh Nasus is still like a relatively big problem, and lifesteal saves you from that atrocity up to a point, of course, but I think finding a way to give yourself that lifesteal is useful. Maybe I don't go that route. Maybe I make the deck a little more aggressive too. I could play like Shariza the Blade that does double damage to the Nexus, and power her up to like, if she gets up to 10 damage, right? And then you can play the new card, Syncopation. And if you swap her with like an unblocked unit and she has 10 attack, that's literally one-shotting the Nexus. Sorry, Syncopation is part of Ionia, so I don't know why I was thinking about using that card. But still, that card can come out of nowhere if they don't block it. And if they do block it, it's a way that you can get rid of some more units. But yeah, my final thoughts is that I think this deck is fine against stuff that's like mid-range. It really struggles against aggro lists. I think I have too many pump-up cards. I think I went overboard trying to get value out of the way. So I think maybe we take out of the way down to 2 and then remove some of the less used power-up cards and probably cut them toward the Stones, Legion Drummer, Arena Battlecaster, maybe get some more early round damage dealers, because there were a lot of games I played where I didn't do anything turn 1, turn 2, turn 3 I would play out of the way. But like, it's not necessarily that important to play out of the way turn 3. It might be better to play a unit turn 1, a unit turn 2, Riven turn 3, Taric turn 4, out of way turn 5, right? Like that might be a better play, even if you don't get immediate value, because this is more of a mid-range list, and I think it should be played that way. But I hope you enjoyed the gameplay, and I hope some of you might find this deck interesting and want to play it. The deck card will be in the description, and I hope to see you for the next Deck Tech. Thank you.